and like depending on who you ask, even him, he's either the best rapper in Africa or the most frustrating case of creative stagnation that we have ever seen. You know, when we think about A-Reece, like, he's one of those artists that's been defined in many different ways and categorized in many different ways throughout his career. Like, he's been like known as the prodigy of South African hip hop. Right now, he's known as a legend. I know him. I revere him as a legend currently, right? He's the kid who gave us Paradise. You know what I mean? He's like the artist who turned being underrated into a full-time personality trait, whether it's by design or it's by accident, or rather it's by external, I guess, description or whatever. But A-Reece is one of those artists who to me always came across as one of those people that isn't really chasing the radio. He's not making music for the sole purpose of having it chart or for the sole purpose of having it making money, even though money is important. I do feel like that's not the sole purpose for his music. I feel like he makes music because he loves the art of making music, specifically hip-hop music, right? He's the symbol of independence. I think that he's all about like craft over clout, and like depending on who you ask, even him, he's either the best rapper in Africa or the most frustrating case of creative stagnation that we have ever seen. I'm on both of those spectrums, honestly, and I feel like two things can be true at the same time, and that's exactly where this new track Losses comes in. Losses comes from his new EP Business as Usual. But yeah, this song itself, it's titled Losses because this song is not just like about losing, right? It's not just about losses in like the literal sense, but it's also more about how A-Reece turns those losses into lessons, like what he learns from those losses and how he builds himself in the wake of or in the aftermath of those said losses. I think it's about the weird like poetic state of remaining consistent, staying the same, being the same person that you always have been, when everyone else keeps demanding like evolution, everyone keeps expecting evolution from you. And we're gonna get into that in a bit more detail, but first I want to introduce myself. My name is Mandi. Welcome chat. But yeah, in this channel, we're going to break down music like literature. We're going to talk about culture like therapy. And sometimes it might offend your favorite fan base in the process. It doesn't matter, bro. That's not the intention. The intention is to be honest, and it's to be enthusiastic and to talk about the things that I love the most, right? So yeah, if you're into that, bro, hit subscribe. Like, it's free. Like, genuinely, it's free. You won't have to pay anything, bro. But yeah, also don't just subscribe because I'm asking you to. Subscribe because you like the content and you genuinely want to see me grow. Don't be that guy. Don't just watch and not subscribe. Don't be that guy that goes to the strip club, watches the stripper do her thing, dancing and everything, putting on an amazing performance, and then not tip. Don't be that guy. But yeah, bro, ring the notification bell so you're first to know when I drop another one. I'm planning to do a video, upload a video on Mondays. It's gonna be the day when I upload videos. But yeah, I'm recording this on Monday, so it might be on Tuesday. But let's see, bro. I'm going for 8 p.m. is the time that I want to upload. But yeah, it depends on what happens tonight. But yeah, let's talk about Losses. The song itself opens up with a Drake reference, Drake quote, in fact. This is the shit I want to go out to. It's a direct lift from Furthest Thing off of Nothing Was the Same. You know, I think that's Drake's best album. Argue With Your Mom. Listen, bro, I even said in the reaction video to the album, go check that out, by the way. I said that Drake sounds Drakey. Not Drake sounds Drakey, A is Drakey. Reese has always been Drake coded. The smooth introspection, the moody luxury beats, you know, the arrogance, whether it's polite or in your face. And you know, some people can call that derivative, and I would say the same thing too. But A-Reece has a solid standalone catalog where he gives us like many different, like he has his own style that's already been established. I think that in this case it's not being derivative. I think it's just like devotional, I guess. You know, he's not stealing the flow. He's just like tracing the lineage. He's saying, you know, that's my musical father, I guess, but I built my own home with those same bricks. I hope that makes sense, but I don't think he's stealing at all. But yeah, I think it works. the track glows with that, 2014 energy, that velvet luxury rap. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I really like about this song, right? And then also, what else captured my attention is the line where he says, patience and wisdom is what these losses amount to. I wouldn't have wrote this if the broski ain't taught me how to. The broski in this case is his brother Jay Jody, the OG mentor, the one who put him on to hip hop, and he loves his brother, bro, and that's beautiful. Brotherhood is, it's solid, it's very important. At the same time, bro, I have a reason. Please stop forcing us to listen to Jay Jody, please, because I did it like I only listen to Jay Jody if he hops on an A-Reece track. But yeah, bro, that was a joke, by the way. Shout out to Jay Jody. Still won't listen to his music, but yeah, man, I think that line is like the heartbeat of the whole track, I think, because he's tracing back, like he's telling us like why he is the way that he is. His losses shaped him, but also his brother also shaped him in many ways. He was that guiding figure for him, and his brother introduced him to hip hop, which essentially changed his entire life, right? So yeah, he also said I never filled up stadiums, but the music is filling voids. And I mentioned that in the reaction video too, that's one of the most standout lines in the verse, not just like the verse, the song and the EP, right? And throughout the whole EP, like that's a standout line, because he's talking back to the game, like it's a clapback. If you look at it like at the surface level, it makes sense. I don't perform at stadiums, I don't sell out stadiums, but my music touches people on an emotional level, and I think that you have to decide for yourself, like what's more important, making money, being big and mainstream success, or having music that connects with people. We all have our priorities, right? But yeah, he's clapping back to Casper, to Mac G, to the fans who said he's not big enough. He's flipping that insult. He's saying, maybe I don't feel arenas, but I feel hearts, right? That's beautiful, bro. But here's where I start to get a little bit conflicted. Listen, bro, I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again, probably twice or 3 more times in this video, I don't know, but I'm a walking contradiction. But I'm the type of person where, like, if I get new information, I'll change my stance. I have no problem with that, even if I'm the one that's changing my own stance. Like, it might happen mid-video, but whatever, bro, sorry about that. But yeah, the confliction, I guess, comes to me is that we've heard this before. Like, we've heard the same sermon for years right now. I don't know how long, but he's been saying the same thing, same tone, same message, just like different beats sometimes. But he's still rapping about authenticity, independence, and like not chasing trends. And it's noble, like it's a noble pursuit, yes, but it's like stagnant. Reece is, if I would say something about A-Reece, in my opinion, like in this current state that he's in, he's a master of refinement, improving on a formula that's there, right? But like he's not really reinventing anything, right? He's not giving us anything new. He's orbiting the same star, and he's been orbiting the same star for like the last 3, maybe 4 years, with some exceptions. But that star is bright, and it's alive, but the gravity is starting to show. I don't know if that makes sense. But also at the same time, while calling out this stagnation, I feel like we also have to be fair and say that Reece is rapping about his life, right? These are his experiences, his anxieties, his experiences in the industry, his losses, his downfalls, his come up, everything. Those are his, right? So we don't really get to tell him how to evolve. We don't really get to tell him what to talk about. And you can't demand, like, we can't really demand growth. We can't expect him to rap the way that we want him to, because his art is autobiographical. Like, he's talking about his own life. He's talking about his experiences. So yeah, it is familiar, but that familiarity has been earned. It's not something that's unearned. It's not something that like comes out of nowhere. It's not creative laziness. I think it's just consistency. And I think like one of the pitfalls of consistency is that you run a really high risk of being stagnant, and also like there's a very high chance of like a music snob such as myself like starting to become like start complaining, because like, at what point do I get something new? At what point am I starting to see the best rapper in Africa? At what point do I start to feel like, oh shit, this is it? You know what I mean? I want to feel that excitement. I want to feel that, like, that mind-blowing like feeling that I've like grown accustomed to from hearing A-Reece. But I think that when you're like really good, and you're really good for a really long time, at some point we get used to it. And at some point we get to asking ourselves like, yo, what's next? What's new? I feel like Reece's sound is like, it's the sound of someone that's comfortable with his own truth. It's like it's not about reinvention, it's about affirmation. Like this whole EP, business as usual, he's not saying this is what I've been up to, this is what's new with me. He's just reaffirming his spot. He's saying, yo, this is who I am, this is what I sound like, this is what I've been going through, this is how I want to tell it to you, this is me, take it or leave it. And honestly, I guess there's some power to that. There's something to respect about that, I guess, because, you know, you can feel the control in his tone, you can feel the confidence in his tone, that certainty of an artist who, like, he doesn't need to scream to be heard. Like, he has aura, bro, he has aura, but like, it's not an unearned aura, and he's not pretending, like, he's himself. Sonically, what I'll say about the song is that it's clean, it's polished, it's intentional. He knows his sound. It's moody, it's minimal, it's perfectly mixed, it's pure Reece, right? But it's also safe, and maybe that's the point. But sometimes, survival is the art form. Remaining stagnant at the level that A-Reece is at, I guess it's a miracle for some rappers. Some rappers will like dream to reach the level that A-Reece is on, right? Because think about like the industry right now. The industry, like, a lot of people are chasing virality, so staying the same, I guess that's like Reece's version of rebellion, I guess. But yeah, man, in closing, Losses is not spectacular. I don't think the whole EP, there's nothing that was spectacular. It's elevated mid at best. I heard that in another video. I think that's I'm gonna use that term like a lot. It's elevated mid. But also it's honest mid, and I'll take honest over hollow any day. Reece is like, he's still one of the best lyricists that this country has ever produced. He just happens to be in an era where he's like really stagnant, and he's in an era where he's just boring the life out of me. But also I think it's okay, because it resonates for a lot of other people. There's a lot of people that get excited by what A-Reece is dropping. There's a lot of people that think he's the greatest of all time because of what he's dropping. Is that blind glaze? Probably. But at the end of the day, bro, even when it's like just business as usual, business is still good. So yeah, shout out to A-Reece. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Losses? What do you guys think of Business as Usual by A-Reece? Am I being harsh, or am I just being honest? I do feel like I didn't want to be too harsh on this song, because I do feel like the whole EP has a lot of room to grow on. But yeah, what do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. I would like to say let's have a thoughtful discussion, a respectful discussion. But if you see my TikTok comments, a lot of A-Reece fans, glazers, are incapable of having such a discussion. But if you guys can find it in you to have a mature discussion, I'm not saying agree with me, I'm just saying let's have a discussion in the comments. Even if you want to be disrespectful, fuck it, fuck you, I want all the smoke. Let's hear it though. Yeah, let's conversate. And I'm sorry for sniffing. I'm gonna try to edit that out. Like, I'm really sick and I have sinuses, and I hope like that motorcycle noise, I'm gonna be able to cancel it out. Yeah, it's one of those motorcycles. I hope like none of y'all are hearing it. But yeah, drop your thoughts in the comments. If you like breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. It's free, bro. And yeah, I'll see you on the next Monday night, or I'll see you on the next episode. Shout out.